If this is your first time to the channel, please do so. Make sure that you're subscribed. Hit that bell for notifications so that way you don't miss another video like this one coming your way. Also, don't forget to hit the like button. It does help this channel grow. Please feel free to leave a comment. We do get back to all of our comments. This video is not intended for children under the age of 17 years old. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of MOE'S Toy Room, come from my room to yours. And today, here we go, we got some NECA action for you folks. It's been a little bit of a while, but here we have the Howling, the ultimate action figure. Imagine your worst fears, a reality. Yes, everyone remembers, if you have seen this movie, you remember the very beautiful Dee Wallace, a young version of her, the ultimate scream queen herself, starred in this movie. This movie is a one-of-a-kind movie. They captured it all right there on that front art of this package, of that flap that opens and closes right there. This would be some poster art that NECA does on the very front of this package. This package is very large and is available now at Target stores. Yes, they are in Target stores, but with a hefty price tag, folks. $49.99. Yes, this is the world we live in now here in the United States. Prices are going through the roof. Just, yeah, overnight. Just can't say enough. So anyway, but as a collector, it could be very hard on our pocketbook. It's just going to be hard all the way across the board. You can even see in Target stores. At this particular Target store, they had very few items there. Not really nothing new. They're not heavily stocking the shelves. They weren't before, but now they're really not stocking the shelves because of the fact that it just costs too much money and they don't want stuff just to sit there overnight and be on clearance. These tariffs are just ripping this country apart. Sorry to say that, but it's the way it is. So anyway, here we have the Howling. We're going to turn this thing to the side. Yes, I'm not up for an open debate, so please, nothing like that. I'm just calling it for what it is about the tariff situation. So yes, I will leave it at that. NECA on the very bottom, the Howling. And right here on the very back, you have the Howling Ultimate Werewolf. I must put that in there. It includes interchangeable heads, hands, and display stand with different length posts. All right, so this figure is obviously going to need its own display stand because, yeah, it's just one of those ones that's going to be very top heavy. So we're going to take a look at that. And I also want to compare it to the American Werewolf in London, Kesler Wolf. So I have that right next to me, and I want to compare the two. There you go. The Howling, same thing with NECA on the very side right there. And then here we have, here it is right here. I don't know how good you're going to be able to see that, but yeah, there you go. So here you have the Howling with the right diorama. It does bring a diorama in there. He seems to have some fog right behind him where he would creep on you from the end. But you can see on the very bottom of these feet right here, you can see why it's probably going to have to bring its own stand. So we're going to check that out and see to get this bad boy to stand, because I don't think that like the little NECA stands are going to be enough for it. But that's how good he could look. I love this pose of this werewolf. I could not wait to get my hands on it, even though the price is so damn expensive. Wow, just wow. So here you have the Howling Ultimate Werewolf kicking back behind his window of pain, locked in his plastic prison, as he has finally made it here to MOE'S Toy Room. He has the 2 interchangeable heads that look fantastic. He has the 4 interchangeable hands, plus the 2 that he has on. So that gives him 6 different hands that you can pick and choose from, however in the world you want to pose your werewolf. So I believe that this guy's going to bring a stand, so I can't see that here in the front. Maybe it's behind the package somewhere. But let's open this bad boy up and take a look at the very brand new, the Howling Ultimate NECA Werewolf here at MOE'S Toy Room. Alright folks, so yes, it is true, it brings its own display stand with post. I want to show you guys this because this werewolf is fairly large. The package is big, everything's big about it. Yeah, but it has a hefty price tag, like I said. Here is, but this is cool that NECA did throw this in, because it's kind of adds up for a lot of the crunch of these tariffs that are going on and the price gouging that's going on. And well, I don't so much say price gouging, because NECA figures were expensive, but due to the fact that now they're even more expensive, and that's something that's just completely, I think, out of their hands and out of our hands. So, but anyway, we're lucky that they threw this in. Here is a stand. It has the post and everything with it. So this is going to be really cool. And then you have the werewolf right here. This werewolf is super cool. Absolutely love it. If you have never seen this movie, please do so. You will see a very young Dee Wallace at her best. She was also in Cujo. Yeah, she's in so many movies, and she's been in like 3 or 4 with Rob Zombie just alone. She is the ultimate scream queen, and heavens knows how many other horror movies she's been in that I own. I'd have to really look back and see some of those. She is a very good actress, and yes, they need to do something of her. Like, give us a Dee Wallace figure. NECA, if you're watching this, give us a Dee Wallace figure. I'd buy it. Same as you gave us Jamie Lee Curtis. Give us Dee Wallace. Dee Wallace, I think, is more of a scream queen than Jamie Lee. Jamie Lee is a scream queen. There's no doubt about it. But Dee Wallace is getting no love, and I just want to give her a shout out on this video for that one. Anyway, so here you have it. There is the display right there. Another one that gets no love is Daniel Harris. Do an ultimate Daniel Harris from Halloween 4 or, you know, Halloween 5, whatever it was, in her little clown suit. Give us one of those. I mean, you've given us Ultimate Chuckies and everything else. Give us a Daniel Harris. She's another major scream queen who gets no love whatsoever. So yeah, give us her figure. I'd buy it in a heartbeat. But all right, folks. So let's unpackage this. I just wanted to show you this, and let's see what it can do. All right, folks. So first off, tail of the tape. So this thing is gonna lock right onto here. I don't know why it brung an extra piece. Maybe it's a different post if you want to get them in a different pose or whatever they threw this in. I don't know. But it looks like it locks in there by where his private part would be. So yeah, he's very big. So to the very top of his head, he's looking at almost 8.5 inches tall. To the very top of his ear, he is looking at almost 9 inches tall. So if you do centimeters wise, let's see here. And this is a seamstress measuring tape, so just to let you guys know. He's looking pretty much a little over 21.25 centimeters, not yet 21.5, but then yeah, he is close to centimeters wise, which is actually seems to be a little bit more accurate, at about 22.5 centimeters, which would be more accurate. Now, he also has a very large, like, hand to hand. So if we're looking at them like that, let's see here. Yeah, this is going to be really weird. So let's turn him around. Let's do that. Okay, so can you see him? Yeah, I think you can. Let me see if I get a better view of that. All right. So this is some of the stuff that they do for fighters. So yeah, from fingers to finger, he's looking at, yeah, easily slightly over 9 and let's see here, 9.5 inches. And then that would be a little over 24 centimeters. Yeah, he's a big boy, folks. So be on the lookout for that. Let me know in the comments, or if you choose not to comment, you could always DM me, or however. Let me know what this added piece is for. So yeah, there you have it. All right, so trust me, I am very excited to have this, folks. So don't say, oh, okay, well, he sounds a little dead today. No, I'm just bummed out at all the pricing and everything else that's going on in the world. It's just, all right. So here we have an alternate head, which is super cool because the jaw opens and closes. So yeah, I love it. Have you watched The Howling? You know, leave it in the comments. Let me know. Let me know if you agree with me. D. Wallace, Ultimate Scream Queen. So yeah, gotta love her. I know a lot of you out there have met D. Wallace, so let me know how she was in person. I have not yet met her. I missed out on meeting Daniel Harris because my son got really sick at the time. So, and then you have another one with his mouth wide open. So this one doesn't seem to be as bloody as this one in the mouth, and it's also around the mouth, so you can see that. But those eyes are just so piercing. I don't know how close I can get that. Piercing eyes. And then this one here, his jaw does not move. So yes, so they give you that jaw, then they give you the open jaw, then they give you one that's all full of blood all the way around that opens and closes, which is seriously insane. Love it. NECA, great job. Absolutely love it. Okay, so these alternate hands, you can see those. Yes, these are very nice. And they're on the single post. So you can see that. They always do such a good job with their werewolves. They really do. NECA really does. And they did the same thing with that Kesler Wolf. Just knocked it out the park. So you got the hands. Same thing. The single hinge post right there. So there you have it, folks. All right. So it is review time. Let's take a look at this bad boy. He is just completely terrifying. If you really get an up close at him, he is just intimidating as hell. And on the bottom of his feet, he does not have any peg holes. So he is going to need for sure a stand of this. So show you that. Let me know if you have this, what you thought about it. Do you think the price was a little expensive? It is a larger figure. Okay, those eyes, geez, those eyes are just insane. All right, so you got our little guy Chucky and Tiffany that are just enjoying the view. So I tend to put them in a lot of my TikTok videos. That's why. All right, so here is review time. So I got to leave them on the stand, which is different, in order to review him. So his head will go up and down, and you can get it to move like this. So look, he's going to have a section here and a section here. Now when you alternate out these heads, it's only going to be from here to here. But this is going to be an added little piece that you're just going to stick right on there. So yeah, it'll be the same. So you have that. His head will go all the way around. It just is really insane, some of the stuff you can do with this. He has a lot of really good mobility. So you could get him to do a lot of things with this particular figure. He has a whole lot of articulation, folks. So yeah, I just got to put that in there. He really does have a lot of articulation. So his arms will go up and easily hits 90. He does have rotation at below the shoulder right here at the top of the bicep. He also has it at the bottom of the bicep in the elbow area. And then he is on a, is that a double? A double or a single? Let's see here. It looks like it's a single joint that they got him from here to there. So you could check that out. Yeah, he's very, very cool. Love this a lot. Arms will go up and around. He is a little pokey, so be on the lookout for that. He is of a harder molded plastic. Also, he does have soft molded plastic to him also. So yeah, so don't right away say, okay, well, you got a bootleg fake one, because this one came from Target. So yeah, so here you have this. He does have rotation, swivel at below the chest area right there. So you go, oh, look, you could really get that pose, especially with the other mouth. Oh, right. So you have that. And then the legs, yeah, he's very, very mobile. So you'll be able to do stuff like that. If you get the right pose and stuff to do on this guy, he could do the splits, hit that Bruce Lee kick for sure. If you want to get him like that, looking down like he's going for his prey, yeah, he'll pose really, really nice, super sweet. He also has rotation. Let's get him from the back so that way you guys can see it. Okay, so right here at the knee joint, he's going to have a single jointed knee. He has rotation also there. You can see that on both legs. He is very flexible, and he also has rotation here. Well, not rotation, but a single joint there. So if you can want to get him like that, yeah, you could get him. I think that might be maybe for the shorter post. If you want to pose him like that. Now I think I might have an idea. So okay, so yeah, so that piece would come out, and it brings a shorter post in case you want him in that running position. So that piece right there that clamps on will clamp on in there. So yeah, now I get it. All right, folks, I figured it out. All right, so, and then for the actual feet, let's see here. Let me see how I could get that to be in view for you. So the actual feet, because it's a little tough to do this review on the stand. The actual feet, he's going to have rotation right here. He does have rotation. And then he has a single joint hinge right there. And then he has one right there at the foot area. So, yeah, and then you want to see his feet on the very bottom. Look, no peg holes. So, yeah, there you have it, folks. You could get this guy to do some really super cool poses for sure. Looking through the area, looking for his prey, looking to see if he could lure in some D. Wallace over to that porno movie theater where he had her meet her and all that. Just completely insane. So here he is with alternate head. You could see that. Look at that. That is intimidating. Inside the ear, they've even detailed inside of his ears. So, yeah, really great job, NECA. I applaud you guys on this one. The figure came out really, really nice. And I'm so happy to have it. Yes, and the added stand does really help versus trying to put the little stands on his feet, which he would be falling over. So with this one, you could pose him very nicely, and he's going to stay for sure. So let's put his other alternate head on, the one with the open and close. And then I also want to put the smaller one on now that I know what it's for. All right, folks, so I did not switch out his interchangeable hands because you know what, they all look the same, and he's not really going to hold nothing. So I mean, it's your preference as to what hands you want to put on him. But there he is right there on the smaller stand. You're gonna have to bend his legs back in certain areas. He does also have pivot, like right here, his feet will go up and down on that bottom hinge. So you could work with this figure quite a bit to get him to pose. This is probably the stand and the pose I will use in a display, because this one seems to fit him more, to look more like a werewolf. And then the open and closed mouth is just to die for. And then, oh, that just works, folks. I mean, literally works. Look at that. This is just amazing. Absolutely love the way that this came out. If you close his mouth here, you can see the detail. You can see the detail on the teeth and really see his eyes. Yeah. What do you guys think? And then you open it up, you could really see his inside of his mouth. The whole inner mouth is all detailed as well. So just to let you guys know. What do you guys think? Pretty cool figure, right? Alright, folks, so let's compare him to the Kesler Wolf, so that way you can see the two together. Alright, folks, so here is the Kesler Wolf. Come to look at it, this figure actually doesn't look as big now next to this one. This guy is just massively huge compared to, yeah, you could kind of see the, yeah, he is just, that Kesler Wolf is just beast mode. But when you put the two together, and the Kesler Wolf also brings an interchangeable head, which has the mouth fully open, such as the Howling Werewolf does. But with the two, you could easily recreate something and come up with something really, really cool if you are a huge werewolf fan. So both of these are available now. The Kesler Wolf, you could try the NECA shop to see if you could get yourself one there. Also on eBay, there are some eBayers that do have the Kesler Wolf available now that aren't that bad. They're pretty reasonable. So just to give you an idea, you're probably going to be in for about a $50 range, and then maybe some shipping for the Kesler Wolf. And then also would be the same for the Howling one. But if you could find the Howling one in store, or the Kesler Wolf still in store, because it's been a while since he's come out, but some stores still do have him out. So yeah, grab them there, because then you won't have to pay the shipping on that one. So anyway, folks, let me know what you think about this. Do you like this figure? Are you gonna buy this figure? Do you think that the figure is actually worth the $49.99 now that you see it next to, let's say, the Kesler Wolf? Put him with this backdrop there. Now that you see him with the Kesler Wolf, I'll give you an up close there. What do you guys think? All right, folks, so please like, comment, subscribe. I am so sorry the video went a little long. So from most to yours till the next one, good night, everyone.